Hey guys, Somebody's Gun here. Today we're going to show you some strategies for the Guardian Tower launches. Much like launch pads, these could be manipulated with builds to send you in different directions and give you a couple of options with how you want to use them. So that's what this video is going to focus on. It could be used in both early game, mid game for rotations, as well as late game when zone is pulling over these Guardian Tower launches. So I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, make sure to click subscribe and let's get right to it. Just want to shout out to the boys Zupu, Trash Kim, and Regan57. Their links are down below. Make sure to go support them as they help me figure this out. Let's first start by talking about where you can find these Guardian Towers. There's 6 of them located across the map. They're on the edges of the orange areas, and each of them have a launch, much like you just saw here. And there's going to be different strategies that you could use for each and every single one of these launches. The building grids are a little different for each of them, so not everyone's exactly the same, but it's going to apply similarly to how old launch pads work, where you can put builds in certain places to manipulate your position. One thing that's important is to understand directional influence. It's common in the Super Smash Bros. Community, but it's also used within Fortnite. Just think about how when you're in the air, you can move to the left or to the right slightly by using the key or the joystick to push yourself in that direction. That is also super important in this tutorial because your directional influence, or your DI, is going to determine where you end up. Also, the direction that you're going to be hitting this launch is going to change how you ultimately are shot out of it. So the red lines show kind of a pattern of if I were to go left or right as soon as I hit it. Then the yellow lines show you the different directions that you could come at the launch from. Now let's talk about how you can manipulate it. If you're going to land off spawn at one of these Guardian Towers, you need to make sure you're only using the 3 builds that the chest is going to give you. As you can see, you hit your head on the ramp and go in more of a straight line as opposed to up and then down. So there's going to be 3 different main variants to this strategy. The first is going to be the high wall, which shoots you straight up, allows you to pull your glider, and go in the opposite direction that the Guardian Tower wants to send you. Then there's the straight drop, which is just going to send you straight down. Then there's going to be the directional input, which is going to allow you to be sent in a certain direction. The high walls are simply 3 walls, or 4 or 5, however many you want to place. You only need 3, going to be placed in a corner or 2 right next to each other that are going to stop your momentum moving forward, shoot you straight up, and allow you to pull that glider. There's super useful rotations out of here or drop spots that you're going to be able to use, one of which is hitting this outside of Orchard, going over to the slurp truck. There's other ones, the Pleasant Park / Flopper Pond Guardian Tower is also super useful. You can hit that with high walls, go over to Flopper Pond, go over back to retail, or even make it all the way over to Dirty Docks. The next is going to be the straight drop down. Use a combination of walls, floors, ramps, and cones to knock yourself straight down. You could do slight directional influence with the ramps and the cones, but if you just want to go straight down, my recommendation is to use just unedited cones or floors to knock you straight down. You box up right outside of the launch, and then you hit it and go straight down. This last strategy is going to be the directional strategy. I think this is going to be the most useful overall. It's going to be good for anywhere from early game all the way to late game. I think the drop down is probably best for only late game if you're up on top of one of these and zone pulls off, as well as an early game loot path. The high wall, I think that's good for rotations. I think that'll be good for early game loot paths as well, but I think the directional one's going to be best for anywhere from 1st to 9th zone. If it just so happens that the zone pulls over one of these areas, it's going to be a great rotation, not item, but map rotation ability. And you could use this to launch yourself in any number of directions without having to get shot up in the air and leave yourself super vulnerable to get 200 to 0 while you're flying in the air. What the directional piece is best for is avoiding having to pull your glider to go in a direction that you want. This is going to allow you to essentially line drive straight into a direction And just think, fourth zone, you get a max distance fifth, you're on top of one of these Guardian towers, and you can directionally launch to that area in a straight line drive. That to me seems like the most useful possibility. In a time where split drops are so important and going to be a huge piece of how this next FNCS plays out, these Guardian Tower launches are going to be vital to helping you not only split drop, but then assisting your teammates say something goes wrong during these split drops. If you know how to make these work, this is going to help you rotate faster, help you get more loot, and all of these are right outside of major POIs. So say your strategy is going to be split drop, loot outskirts, and then you want to go push a third party in a POI, this is now a much faster possibility, as well as going towards upgrades, different NPCs, different places with cogs and bones. There's so many possibilities out of this now that we've further unlocked how these Guardian launches are going to work. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to click that subscribe button. Go follow my boys on Twitch, Zupu, Trash Kim, and Regan57. Those links are down below. I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you so much. And I'm Somebody's Gun. I will see you guys next time.